Hello there, I'm Kepa and welcome to my reaction channel. Today we are going to deep in one of my favorite bands or musicians in all time, and we are talking about Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy is also one of those artists who has been followed me on my whole life and the music point of view. This video is going to be very long when I'm going to go through those things what he has done. I mean, his life and his career, it has been so colorful, so that's the reason why I have to break this into two parts. But let's start. About Ozzy Osbourne, if you don't know, if there's somebody who doesn't know anything about Ozzy Osbourne or something, this may bring some kind of new information. So, when we are talking about Ozzy Osbourne, we have to go in back 1960s, late 1960s. It was 1967, 68, 69, when he was forming Black Sabbath band with the Geezer Butler and Tony Iommi and Bill Ward. So that was a starting point for the Ozzy Osbourne, if we are talking about his whole career. And if we are talking about Black Sabbath, it's a huge area to cover. So because Black Sabbath itself is extremely important and big thing, so I'm going to shorten this area pretty much. But Black Sabbath is very important, or I have to say extremely important sign or the phenomena when we are talking about heavy metal music in general. It is basically grandfather of the true heavy metal, what we know today. Many modern heavy metals and metal bands past decades owns a lot for the Black Sabbath. Why Black Sabbath is so important, or what a different thing they done? Well, the Black Sabbath band introduced the darker and heavier sound, and lyrics was many ways controversial, so it was pretty obvious to see that band itself naturally raised disturbed feelings in the older generations. Black Sabbath itself gave a lot of excellent songs, songs which are well known still today, and they work just fine for every heavy metal bangers. And one of the well-known Black Sabbath song is obviously Paranoid. I mean, I'm pretty sure that everyone knows that song, no matter if they haven't listened or heard that, but they know a song called Paranoid. It was groundbreaking song in many ways, and funny thing or fact is that it was very popular in the disco in 1970s. Somebody has been saying that it is the first heavy metal song which is played in the disco. I don't know, but sounds interesting fact. The Black Sabbath went about 10 years with that lined up, and it was successful 10 years. Ozzy got the own share of that success in his own way. For example, many knows or remembers that legendary story or event in the concert where the Ozzy Osbourne is biting head of the bat in the live show. It wasn't his purpose. He just thought that it was toy bat or something like that, and he ripped that bat's head off. And also Ozzy used a lot of drugs and alcohol during that time period, that 10 years. In 1979, band has a lot of tight tensions inside of the band, and especially between Osbourne and Iommi. And eventually Ozzy was kicked out, and Ronnie James Dio was replacing him from the Rainbow. After Black Sabbath, Ozzy was ready to quit the whole musician career or music business, until very fastly music manager called Don Arden signed him. Arden take him as his personal project or something like that. And Arden put his own daughter Sarah to look after Ozzy and just to secure his investment in Ozzy Osbourne. That same year, later, 1978, Ozzy formed Blizzard of Oz band, including Uriah Heep drummer Lee Kerslake and Rainbow bassist Bob Daisley and keyboard player Don Ailey, who also came from the Rainbow. And lastly, the Quiet Riot guitarist called Randy Rhoads, who is legendary from himself. The debut album came out in the same year, in 1979. The album and title changed it somehow or some way in that, I don't know, was it the record company or who decided that, but it changed a little bit. The band name wasn't anymore Wizard of Oz. It turned it that way that album itself is called Wizard of Oz, and the band or performance of that album was Ozzy Osbourne. The album was huge success itself. It reached multi-platinum status. The second album was Diary of the Madman, which came out 1981, and Tommy Aldridge replaced Kerslake, and Rudy Sarzo replaced Daisley. And next year, Osbourne married a second time, and this time with his manager Sharon. It was that Don's daughter, and it was second marriage. He got married first time at the 1970s with a woman called Thelma. During Diary of the Madman tour in 1982, Randy Rhoads died in an aircraft accident. The events of that accident goes shortly like the band's tour bus driver, who was Andrew, I don't remember the last name. He had a license to fly aircraft, and the band itself was stopping in some ranch where was this light aircraft, and this Andrew wanted to fly with it. So Andrew flying to the light airplane what sees in the ranch, and with him was Randy Rhoads and the band's costume and makeup artist. So they start to fly with Andrew, and Andrew just for goofing around and do some stunt and silly stuff, and start to fly very low. And eventually the plane clipped it, or it hit some way to the touring bus and clipped it over and crashed it to the main building on the ranch. Pilot and all his passengers, including the Randy Rhoads, died right away. There was, or there is, a lot of speculation about that accident. Was it Andrew's suicide or murder or something? Was he? What is background of that thing? I don't know about that. You can Google it or find it on YouTube. There's a lot of different kind of material around that, and even 3D simulations and so on. Randy Rhoads was dead, and it affected very hardly to the Ozzy, and Ozzy Osbourne fell deep depression, and that was first part of Ozzy Osbourne. But what I'm going to react, what we are going to listen in this time, it is the Mr. Crowley live performance in the New York in 1981, and it's a perfect showcase of the Ozzy's new band in early 1980s. Especially the Randy Rhoads, his performance is superb. He's stealing the show. He was so talented, rising star, who was many times compared with the Eddie Van Halen. As far as I have understood, there was some kind of competition between these guitarists. But, yeah. Also, the video what I'm going to react, what we are going to check is surprisingly good quality when we are comparing the time when it was recorded. Normally, when I'm checking videos which has been recorded in 1970s or 1980s, early 1980s, or even late 1980s, the quality of them are not so good. But this is surprisingly good. So let's check this out. It's always nice to hear those old analog keyboard sounds. They sound so different. Especially what I remember, what came after that was those first keyboards, which sounded pretty bad, to be honest. Well, they get better when the digitalization was spreading widely. Let's continue.
Mr. Crowley, what went on in your head? Oh, Mr. Crowley, did you talk to the dead? Uncovering things that were sacred, and you pissed on this earth. You fooled all the people with magic. Yeah, you waited on Satan's door, Mr. Charlie. Did you think you were pure, Mr. Annoying? In nocturnal rapport, uncovering things that were sacred, and you pissed on this earth. Conceived in the eye of a secret, yeah, this gets to the afterbirth.
Why playing is so easy to someone? I mean, uh, he was so good player. And when we are talking about 1981, that shredding whole thing, I know there was a 81 Hale and so on, but still, that was something else. And it's funny to recognize that this song has two main solos, guitar solos. This is the first one. There is going to be second. Normally, there's only one solo section. And also the Sarso's playing style with the bass. He's hammering the bass's body to resonate, so you don't have to slap it when he's playing.
Crowley, won't you ride my white horse? Oh,
That's funny that reaction of Ozzy. He was amazed himself on the Randy Rhoads performance, and also that uh, shirt of Ozzy is a little bit funny. No, not so cool nowadays. At least it looks like something what somebody's mother would be done the little boy who goes to performance in these 10 years presentation of the school or something like that. Nevertheless. Yes, that was Ozzy Osbourne. Mr.Crowley. That Randy Rhoads performance is insanely good. That's more than 40 years ago. And it was funny to see how the Ozzy himself was reacting to the Randy's performance and the band's performance itself. This is a good one. I have seen this couple of times earlier, but again, like I have said in many older videos, that I haven't seen this for a long time, and this was the same thing. And it's always nice to see it again and again, and come back to it again. And good thing about this video and Ozzy Osbourne itself, that many times when I'm looking the some older bands or musicians, I'm always coming to that fact that yeah, that is from his prime, and that sounds so good because it was made then and it's so something when I was younger or something. Ozzy Osbourne is a little bit different kind of story. This isn't the only one, early one, the latest one when he's performing something special. No, it doesn't stop here. It goes far forward into the 2000 years, something like that. So that is something special about Ozzy. He has been evolving himself a lot in the years. But that's about it about this part of this first part of this Ozzy Osbourne journey, if I may say so. I'm going to continue from this. Please leave a comment what you think about Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads, about this video, about that live show, and also please leave a feedback about this video, what I'm doing here, and please subscribe my channel and support the things what I'm doing in that way. But for now, that's about it. I thank you for watching. Until next time, bye. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos and don't forget to press like button and share.